central limit theorem, okay? That's how the intuition of the central limit theorem, that when the number of cases tend to infinite, are very big, and the number of events, the number of times you throw the dice, when tends to infinite, you know, the lemniscata is the lemniscata of Bernoulli, yeah. The value you get becomes close to the value you expect. Okay, so let's see. How should I put it? The value we get, it gets closer to the value we expect. The probability says that we have, like, roughly every 100 times we throw the dice, they are between 16 and 70 times every 100 that we get a 7. So if you throw it like 1000 times, you will get something like the expected value, only due to probability. Expected value will be, if I throw the dice 1000 times, what I did, the expected value will be something of the expected value for getting the 7 score would be something like would be 165 times that we get 7 times we get 7. So I don't have the number here. I could do it, you know. I'd have to throw it 1000 times. It takes, like, if I remember right, it takes like 1 hour or something like that. 1 hour throwing. You can make an estimation just by throwing 1 minute. 6, 10, 9, 10. So 4 times in every 16 seconds will be like 15 times a minute. 15 times a minute. So imagine. So yeah. 1 hour, roughly 1 hour, 1 hour and a half, you know, depends on how fast you are writing, and if you get tired and you get slower. So at least 1 hour, 1000 times. So we'll get something like I don't know, let's suppose 162 7 out of 100 out of 1000, sorry. So yeah, we'll get close to this probability, you know, this 1/6, you know, will be close to that, close to 1/6. So Bernoulli understood the theory, he got an intuition about how the theorem worked, okay? Because he knew that a probability is not a value, it only gives you a chance every, you know, so you have to throw 100 times to get 16 times score 7. So after this calculation, that you know that as a conclusion, they call the central limit theorem. It took him years to prove it, but intuition was clear. It kind of had a kind of revelation. So and very, you know, he threw the coffee table, you know, with all the good china, and it broke everything. Okay, that's important because the was from her wife's doll. Yeah, so the presents they gave it, I think it's called Zhao. When the bride got married, the parents had bought that for the Bernoulli's wife. So Bernoulli broke it because of the how, you know, the strong emotion of understanding that the devil was cheating. Okay, hold on. Okay, was cheating. So it was impossible to spend eternity throwing the dice without getting a 7. Okay, I threw it, I didn't get a 7, I threw it like, I don't know, like 7, 10 times. 10 times. Every, you know, it doesn't mean that, you know, it doesn't mean that I'm close to that. Every time you throw, there's a chance of getting. So the way to understand is that, yeah, so now I don't know, these are 80, the rest, like 84.5% chance of not getting 7, but the remaining is the probability to getting the 7. Every time there's a chance. So the idea is that if you throw a lot of times, the proportion of times you get 7 gets close to the prediction, you know, that you calculate, taking into account all the possibilities, you know, like the rigorous calculation. So Bernoulli was famous for this theorem, okay, even though it took him years to prove it. Later he wrote that every person that is not stupid would understand this theorem, you know, and even though it took him a bright mind to have the intuition and years of work to prove it. So that's what scientists do sometimes, you know. They think that they think that the things that it took them years to learn are very easy. You know, that's the problem. That's a general problem. And then if they write a textbook, they write it as if it's very simple, you know. So let me get a book. Hold on. I'm trying to find a book. That the author has think and consider all the contents so many times. He thinks that what he's explaining is very simple, and it's not the case. Let me get is that, I think, let me get it here. Okay, I bought this book because I like the first chapter, and then it was, the author is Devil. No, instead of devil is Devlin or Devlin, how do you pronounce it? A recommendation I make to you, I don't know, maybe some people could discredit it, but never buy a book written by many authors, but a lot of authors. The books that are best for me are those who are written by only one author. For instance, this book. This. Even though I don't like chemistry, this book